With the departure of Bob Bowlsby as the commissioner of the Big 12, who they hire next could have a major impact on West Virginia University sports, and especially their football program. Let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos, and welcome to another edition of Coos' Corner. So come in, sit back, relax, and let me pour you out a shot of top-shelf college sports content. Topic of the day, obviously, is Bob Bowlsby stepping down as commissioner of the Big 12. There's already been a lot of names been thrown out there as possible replacements, but on almost every list you see, there's two names on them that have direct correlation and direct tie-in with the West Virginia University. And the number one is Oliver Luck. Oliver Luck is probably at the top of everyone's list. He's probably the most likely candidate for this job. He actually served as a consultant to help Bob Bowlsby after Texas and Oklahoma left the conference to come up with the expansion plan. We all know, most of us Mountaineer fans know him as the athletic director at West Virginia from 2010 to 2014. He was in charge of getting us into the Big 12. So were it not for him, we might be in a Group of 5 conference right now. So my hat's off go to Oliver Luck. He was also responsible for a lot of other great things. He got us a really good third-tier media rights deal with IMG, Learfield IMG, that has made West Virginia a lot of money. He was in charge of allowing alcohol sales in the stadium, which some people may disagree with, but it was a huge revenue boost and actually cut back on bad fan behavior. And that's a whole other topic for another day, but it did. Now, Oliver Luck is extremely qualified for this job. Not only has he been an athletic director, but I'm going to give you a list of all the different positions he's held throughout his career. He's been GM of 2 different NFL Europe clubs. He was the president of NFL Europe for 4 years, 96 to 2000. He was the CEO of the Houston Sports Authority for 4 years. He was the president and general manager of the Houston Dynamo Soccer Club for 5 years. He's worked as an executive vice president for regulatory affairs for the NCAA. He did serve that role for 4 years. And more recently, he was commissioner of the XFL when it formed. Obviously, the XFL disbanded because of COVID in 2020, and he's currently embattled in a lawsuit with Vince McMahon for, in his mind, is unlawful termination. So that lawsuit's still ongoing. Now, would Oliver Luck want this job? He's obviously probably the most qualified person for the job. There's a few things that might hinder him from taking it. Number one is that lawsuit. Would the Big 12 want to deal with that right now? 2, he's 62 years old, so he's probably getting close to being retired himself. But based on this list I gave you, he hasn't served any of these roles for more than about 5 years anyway. So Oliver Luck could come in right now. He could be in charge of the Big 12 through their next media rights contract negotiations, overseeing these new teams coming in. And then once the TV deals are all negotiated, everything's done, he could walk away and either do something else or retire, whatever he wanted to do. So it would likely be a short-term hire for the Big 12 if Oliver Luck took the job. So, and like I said before, do they want to deal with this lawsuit that he's embattled in right now? And also, Oliver Luck is currently co-owner of the Country Roads Trust, which is an organization started to get West Virginia student-athletes NIL deals. Would that be a conflict of interest? Would he have to step down from that role? And if so, who fills that gap? Now, he's not the only owner. Ken Kendrick, the owner of one of the owners of the Arizona Diamondbacks, is partners with Luck on that, but Luck is basically overseeing the day-to-day operations of the business. So what would happen with the Country Roads Trust were Oliver Luck to take this position, assuming it was offered? Now, if Luck got it, it may not have a direct impact on West Virginia other than maybe the Country Roads Trust piece, but what it would do, it would give West Virginia somebody at the top of the conference that they could have a relationship with, that they could sit down and talk with and feel comfortable with. And I think it would be a good thing for us to have him at the top of the conference. Now, the other one on the list that I want to talk about would have a more direct impact, and that's Shane Lyons. Now, I know a lot of you probably don't like the job Shane Lyons has done at West Virginia, and then that's fair. You have a right to your opinion. And by the way, let me know in the comment section. Do you think one of these guys will get the job as Big 12 commissioner, and would you like him to have it? Now, back to Shane Lyons. Shane Lyons has been the AD at West Virginia since 2015. Before that, he served as deputy AD at Alabama from 2011 to 2015. He was actually the associate commissioner of the ACC from 2001 to 2011. He worked in their compliance and governance department now, so he has extensive background working in a conference office, so he knows the in and outs there. He was the associate AD of Texas Tech before that. He's worked for the NCAA in some roles. He was also assistant commissioner of the Big South Conference back in the late 80s. During Lyons' career, he's sit on 11 different national committees. He's currently the chair of the Division I Football Oversight Committee. And a few years ago, he served as chair of the Big 12 Athletic Directors Council. Now, the reason it would be such a big deal if Shane Lyons were to get this position, number one, obviously West Virginia would be looking for a new athletic director, but two, Neil Brown, our football coach, his contract has wording in it that states if President Gordon Gee or athletic director Shane Lyons were either one to leave their positions, Neil Brown's buyout dissipates, which means he could leave with no penalty. Now, I was listening to the guys on Country Roads Confidential, Mike Kazaza and Chris Anderson, and the reason, and they were able to find out the reason behind that language in the contract. And according to the university, and I don't know if I buy this or not, but according to the university, it actually helps them too, because if they would get a new athletic director, that new athletic director would not feel tied to the football coach. And if they wanted to bring somebody else in, they could. So, take that for what it's worth. I don't know that I agree with that, but nonetheless, that's the language. So that means Neil Brown could go somewhere else. That means the new athletic director could probably let him go. Whatever that might be the case, they could part ways with no buyout. Now, who would replace Shane Lyons were he to leave? I don't know. Our current associate AD, or our current deputy AD, I should say, her name is Kelly Zinn. She's been serving in that role since 2010. She has she's directly over, I think she directly oversees the football program, so she's very involved with Coach Brown and his staff. She seems very well respected, very well liked in the department. She actually served as interim AD when they were, between the Luck and Lyons eras. So she does have a little bit of experience as actual AD. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. Once again, please leave in the comment section, what do you think? Would you like to see one of these two gentlemen get the job? If Shane Lyons gets it, who would you like to see become our new AD? And how do you think that would impact Neil Brown as head football coach? Guys, if you like this video, if you like this content, please give me the thumbs up button. If you like this, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so right now. Click that red subscribe button. It costs you nothing. If you want to support me financially, you can join Couz's Corner, become a member. You have access to some cool emojis and some other perks. Also, guys, if you're a sports bettor or an online gambler, click the BetUS link in the description box right now. Use promo code JOIN125. You'll get 125% bonus on your first bet. Once again, the link's in the description box. You can place bets on the upcoming UFC event. Place bets on Major League Baseball as the season's getting ready to get underway. NBA games, playoffs are coming up soon. You can place bets on that. Whatever it is you want to bet on, or if you just like to go play some online blackjack or some online poker, that works too. Just use that link, get you in the site. Well, guys, listen, I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. And until next time, Q Country Roads.